guys, Danny here. This isn't a vlog, this is just me talking. So I've just come back from a nice day out with some mates, and they all had beer and I had my classic orange juice with lemonade in it, which is a St. Clement's. It's very enjoyable, very nice. And on my bus ride back, I opened my wallet to make sure I had enough money for the rest of the week, and I found this. It's a £10 note. And I had an instant flashback to my childhood. Not quite sure why, but it was lovely. When I was a kid, I suffered, when I was in primary school, I suffered with a learning disability. I kept confusing units of money with weight and time. So I used to think that 60p pieces would equal £1. Eventually I worked it out. But the one thing I didn't work out until I was 13 was the concept of money. I never understood how money worked. What puzzled me was that we exchanged pretty pieces of paper and what I called pretty buttons for goods and services, and this was difficult for me to understand. So when I was 13, I was living in a place called Pandy, and my next door neighbour, he knocked on my door and he says, "Do you want to come with me to the shop?" And I went, "Okay, what are you going to the shop for?" He says, "Well, I'm going to get some sweets." And I went, "Okay, just give me a second." So I started tying my shoelace, and my mum says, "Where are you going?" I says, "I'm going down to the shop because my next door neighbour wants to buy some sweets." Just before I went out of the door, my mum shoved a £1 coin into my hand, and she says, "There you go." And I went, "What's this for?" And she says, "Go get some sweets." This was very confusing for me. Now, despite my size, I don't actually spend my days eating massive amounts of sweets and cookies and other such stuff, because when I was young, we never really had the money for it. Having a sweet was sort of like one blackjack or something like that, and that would be enough. And the problem is, I can't eat massive amounts of sweet stuff because it makes my mouth burn, it makes my tongue burn. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but it might be my palate. So I couldn't eat massive amounts of sweets like everybody else. So it was a big problem. So I got to the shop and I saw all these sweets. And this was when we still had the halfpenny sign, when we still had like half p's. And I'm looking and I'm going, there's a lot here. What can I get for £1? And the guy comes out and he takes a selection of everything. And I come back with a bag like this, filled with sweets for £1. And I was thinking to myself, I'm never going to eat all these, and I didn't. I ended up handing most of them out to my friends, and that was when I really got a sense of money and how useful it is. It just makes you question things, that this is worth like an entire week's worth of electricity for me, or a week's worth of gas, or a week's worth of water. That's what this is worth. So it's £30 a week for me. So when I started thinking, money, amazing. What's it like in other countries? A friend brought home a $10 bill. $10 bill? I don't know how it works in America, I'm sorry. And it's really horrible to hold. American money, it's not like our money. Our money is very sturdy and it's made from this proper rich parchment and has this very cool quality ink, and it has all these inlays and everything. But American money doesn't have that. It has one inlay and a horrible green ink, which, and to be honest, this is fairly new, but American money's all been like recycled and used over the years, and this still smells like the printing press, but American money doesn't. It smells like, ooh, it's horrible. I'm not sure if it's the ink or the fact that it's been in the system for probably the last 30 years, but American money is weird. And the annoying thing about American money that is, because it's not very as sturdy as English money, is that if I were to rip this £10 note in half, which I'm not going to do, I could take it to the bank and the bank would give me another one in exchange for the two halves, because that's what they do. If you did that in America, they just tell you to go away. That's, $10 you've wasted because you've ripped it in half. You can't have it repaired unless you go to like a proper official bank. So, a bit of annoyance really. Now, what I wanted to do is, I always wanted to stake like £10 of my own money, go to an exchange shop and say, I'll have that type of currency please. And not for the fact that, I'm going somewhere, I just want it because it looks cool. The most pretty type of money that I've ever seen is Australian dollars, and theirs is very pretty and plastic. It's been made from a special plastic which, for the life of me, I think is either to protect against fraud, which is very good, but also to protect against going into the sea and having your notes dissolve. And I really want to get some. I probably will get a selection of Australian notes, and I might even make a video about it. And another one that I want to get is this £10 note in Chinese money, which is called dong, is probably, you probably get about 10 notes of dong out of this £10 note. Yeah, I'm serious. £1,000 would equal a suitcase of dong. So £1,000 you could probably fit into a wedge about this big. It's not really that much when you think about it, but in dong it'd be a suitcase full. I'm talking like a proper luggage case full of dong. It just made me think, you know, money is a little strange when we think about it, and that's it. That's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching, and when I find where my mouse has gone so I can end the recording, there we go, I'll see you next time. Danny S signing off.